welcome back to the Eid Mubarak edition of News Desk. Many thanks to Maxwell Agbagba for doing us the honors earlier. Let's move to some other stories. And the NPP's Kwabena Agyapong is scheduled to enjoy his full benefits as former General Secretary of the governing party. This is after the National Executive Committee unanimously agreed to reinstate his membership following the indefinite suspension slapped on him some 6 years ago. Some NEC members who argued in favor of the former General Secretary insisted he has remained loyal to the party in spite of the suspension. That's not all. It was also established that whilst serving his suspension, Mr. Agyapong contributed in diverse ways, including financial support in building the party at the constituency and regional levels. This NEC believes is worthy of emulation and thus granted him his request for a review of his suspension. National Chairman of the governing NPP has been speaking exclusively to my colleague, Kwesi Wilson.
Last year, before we went for elections, Kwabena wrote that he wanted the suspension to be reconsidered because, according to him, he believes that with the suspension on, and it means as a General Secretary, then at that time that
was in 2015,
was quite some privileges, some rights attached to past General Secretaries. He couldn't attend NEC meeting, National Council meeting, and others. And he is a very loyal party member, irrespective of what had taken place, for which he believed he's had enough punishment for, and for that reason, the suspension must be lifted with regards to his rights and privileges. And this, yesterday, after a long discussion and consideration of the matter, it was unanimously decided that the suspension should be lifted, particularly in regards to his rights and privileges as a former General Secretary of the party. That's what took place.
So he's going to enjoy all the full benefits of a former General Secretary in the party?
Definitely.
I see. But were people opposed to his lifting of the suspension?
I wouldn't like to go into that. I've just told you that it was unanimously agreed that that's what should happen.
But were there
definitely
key factors for consideration as far as this lifting of the suspension is concerned?
Definitely. I mean, you wouldn't take a decision in vacuum. A lot of other factors were taken into consideration.
Like what?
For example, it's been since his suspension even, and more particularly before the 2020 election, December elections, he's been going around campaigning for the party. He's been seeing the company, particularly of the first gentleman of the land,
you mean the
president. And from all indications, he's been funding or helped to raise funds for some particular constituencies in the Upper East, Upper West Ashanti, and other places that I might not have been aware, but some people came up to testify, give evidence of his support for the particular constituencies. And based on that, it's good enough. In any case, it's been 6 years, and the suspension can't stay ad infinitum. It's been decided to lift. We want people, and indeed, some even argue that Kwabena Agyapong has been a member of the party for long. He's been a spokesman before. He's been served as a spokesman for the former President John Agyapong before. He's paid his dues. He might have faltered for one reason or the other, but now he's made up for whatever it is, or punishment has been given for a couple of years. It is better he's allowed to come and play a role as a full member and loyal member of the NPP. That's what happened.
And this decision was taken last night. Has it been communicated to him, Mr. Agyapong himself? Or was he at the meeting back?
He wasn't at the meeting.
Okay.
Yes. But definitely it will be communicated to him. I believe today, tomorrow, very near future, to be said.
So going forward, what do you expect from him now that he has been, his suspension has been lifted? What's the party expecting from him?
Well, into his commitment to the party, his loyal service to the party, and whatever position that he find himself in, and whatever situation he find himself in, he will fight to raise the reputation, to raise